Good morning, everybody. Well, today is Sunday. It is Halloween day today, October the 31st. It's kind of been a gray, kind of rainy morning so far. We're out on a day hike. Hey, probably nowhere else I'd rather be right now. Well, maybe on a longer trail. Maybe one of the Caminos, who knows? But anyhow, it's a day hike today, and whilst we're out, we're going to answer a question. And the question comes from a new subscriber. His name is Adam, and he lives in Cambridge, Ontario. And his question or email went along somewhere along the lines of, "Hey Jasper, my name is Adam. I am also a maturing male." Okay, so I guess I'm a maturing male too, which I am. I've done lots of hiking over the years, lots of day hiking. But I recently found your channel, he says, and since then, in October, I did my first 2-day, 1-night, overnight kind of hike, which he enjoyed immensely, and he wants to try his first through hike. The question was, how do I prepare, how do I train, if I train at all, for through hiking in general? Now, first of all, thank you for the question, Adam. Thank you for being a subscriber, a new subscriber to our channel. And it's a great question. Keeping healthy in general, be it through diet and exercise or whatever, is vitally important, especially as we are maturing, because it just does not get any easier. But that's the question we're going to answer today. What kind of training do I do? What kind of training should we do? And indeed, should we do any training in preparation for a hike, a through hike of some kind of distance? So keep in mind, we're actually going to answer this question a little further up the trail. We're just really starting out right now. But today's a good day to answer the question, because today is all about training for Jasper anyhow. But do keep in mind, most of my recommendations, theories, and things I do are with the through hiker in mind. Somebody that's going to be on trail for a particular length of time, and preparing for that, not just with equipment or mentally, but also physically too. Very, very big part of a successful through hike. So, okay, welcome to my day. Let's head down this trail for a while. We'll talk more about the trail and where we are very, very, very shortly. But right now, we're just starting, so let's get to it. So the trail we're on today, well, the trail can be found in tiny Township, about 45-50 minutes maybe north of Barrie, Ontario. And it's called, I believe, the Tiny Shoreline Trail. It's a combination of forest, kind of country lanes and roads going past cottages and homes. Beach, waterfront for several kilometers. Our arrival today will be in Balm Beach in Tiny Township. There we'll take a break, and we turn around at that point and we head back to where we started, where we parked the car. That round is around 24 kilometers. So that's how far we're going for this day hike today, is 24 kilometers. And yeah, the trail ahead of us. Well, right now, we are in the forest section. And it's beautiful today. The waning fall colors, but still super picturesque. A little bit of dampness in the air, As I say, it's been raining a lot this morning. Right now, it's about 11:30 now. We've probably been hiking for about 30 minutes so far. And it's 11:30, so it's a later start for the day, but there is a reason for that. We're going to talk about that as we actually answer Adam's question in a while. We'll get to that in a while. But first, we're going to enjoy the hiking. We're going to enjoy the trail. A little bit muddy in spots. We have had quite a bit of rain, really, over the last few weeks. Quite normal for October, and as I say, today is October the 31st, so for tomorrow, happy November. Yeah. Oh, promises to be interesting, exciting, but also, even though we're actually training today, still somewhat relaxing, because we are outdoors, we are in the forest, or we are right now anyhow, and it's just beautiful through here. Just take a look at this forest. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so to answer, or begin to answer Adam's question, let's start with the first part, really, which was, do I do anything as far as physical training to prepare for through hikes and so on? And the answer to that, Adam, is almost definitely I do. Without the training, almost on a daily basis, I don't think I would be able to accomplish some of the through hikes that I have done. And also some that are ahead of me also. So yes, that is a definite yes. Okay. Ooh. All of a sudden, we came out of the forest into blue sky sunshine. The weatherman said the rain would stop. He also said the skies would start to kind of open up. It will be breezy, which it is, and the sun would come out, which it has. Hey, what a beautiful, beautiful day to be out on the trails. Absolutely beautiful. We're just coming out here to a country road. Few cars, not too many. It's Sunday and it's a relatively quiet country road. But here comes a car now. Yeah. Over in the distance, I see Georgian Bay. We're going to be walking quite a ways along the beach on Georgian Bay, but it's going to be quite windy there, and that may interfere with the audio on our video. Oh boy. All of a sudden, within a 15-minute period, it went from deep dark gray to bright sunshine. Okay. Continuing with Adam's question, yes, I train a lot, but I don't particularly look at it as training. To me, the hiking world is a lifestyle for me personally. Hence, that's why I kind of say many times that a lot of the things I do, the gear I use, the preparation, the food I eat, so on, is all with through hiking in mind. But okay. Training. I do many different things, and first of all, I tend to make the answers big and blown out and long drawn, and I don't really mean to do that, but to understand things sometimes you have to get in depth. But anyhow, yes, I do several things insofar as training for a through hike. I go to the gym, which I did this morning. I ride a mountain bike, but primarily on the roads. I hike like we're doing right now, day hikes with a day pack on a relatively flat trail at a higher cadence. I hike on trails through forests with a lot of elevation gain. I also do elevation gain training, which may be something along the lines of 18 kilometers, up and down, up and down, up and down, 3, 4, 5 times, up and down Blue Mountain, close to where I live, with a full pack, a heavy pack, a training pack filled with jugs of water on my back that might weigh 30, 35, 40 pounds. That's to represent the full pack of gear when you're on the trail. And a kind of a whole mixed bag of cookies, all boil into or accumulate with, again, through hiking in mind. So yes, I train, I go to the gym, I do, like this morning as an example, I did an hour of stretching and weight training, and then 30 minutes of a stepper. Now the stepper isn't an elliptical stepper, there's nothing wrong with those, but I prefer a particular machine that we have at the Anytime Fitness Gym in Wasaga Beach where I live, which is more of a vertical stepper. I find it much more challenging, much more realistic, and much more beneficial to me, especially as I age. So 30 minutes on there. That was my 1.5 hours at the gym this morning. Then I go home, have a meal, food. The food I had was 3 eggs scrambled and a large bowl of fruit with plain yogurt and granola mixed in. In my pack, I of course have my flask of coffee, and of course I have coffee with my meals because I am a coffee drinker. You just turn around the camera a little bit because I think I just changed direction. The sun might be in your eyes. So yeah, that gives you an example of what I might eat. Now in my pack I have my flask of coffee, I have an orange, a banana, and I think 3 or 4 granola bars. And that should last me throughout the hike. That's quite a bit, but again, you know, we've already done an hour and a half in the gym today. So we are consuming calories, we're burning fuel, consuming fuel. So that gives you an example of a particular day of training like today. Break time. First break of the day. I don't know if you can see from here, but this is the Wimblewood. I'm not sure what you can see in the GoPro there, but this is the Wimblewood General Store. Unfortunately, the Wimblewood General Store has not been open for the last 2 years. I'm assuming due to COVID, but you know, who knows. The lady that was running it, Victoria, charming lady, little different, but charming. And I used to stop in here quite a bit, but again, they've been closed for the last 2 years. But I use their bench, have my coffee and a granola bar as my break, and then we're going to push on. A little bit of an update for you. Now originally, I'm going to tell you something quite honestly. Originally, when I did our fundraising drive, I wasn't sure if that was something I should do with my channel or not. I thought to myself, maybe I should come up with another way of funding things, but I went ahead and I threw it out there. I sold Tyvek footprints, and I also asked for loony and toony support donations, and it was all in aid of buying 2 things. One was an upgraded version or an update to our video editing software, and another one, the second part, the more expensive part, was the vlogging camera that we needed to replace the one we're using right this minute. When you're out on trail all the time, the cameras get beaten pretty hard in the weather and so on, so they only have a certain life expectancy. And I did want to upgrade the quality of the videos we were uploading, so I needed to upgrade the video editing software. So first of all, this is what I'd like to say. I could not believe, I am totally astounded and extremely grateful of all the people that have contributed to our fund drive. By it through, some people have purchased Tyvek footprints. Some people have supported us through the Looney Tooney drive. Some people have done both, bought Tyvek and supported us financially. And you know what? Again, I'm totally and completely blown away by the generosity of the subscribers and viewers on the channel. Okay, so an update. We have already purchased, or been able to purchase, from your generous support, we've been able to purchase the video editing software, and we went with the Corel Video Studio Pro 2020 version. Now, if you remember when I first mentioned about the fundraising drive, we spoke of a number of $180 for the video editing software. And the software I was looking at the time was indeed $180. But since then, we came across the Corel Video Studio 2020 Pro, which came in with tax and so on at $90. It's downloadable, which we have downloaded, and we can download it into 2 computers. We've downloaded it into 1, so we have another download available down the road if we choose to change computers and so on. It's going to be a while before we get onto it because it's totally different to what we're using today. So it's going to take a while before we start seeing videos produced by the new software, but I am totally ecstatic that we were able to do it. And I'm even more ecstatic that we did it through, well, you guys did it, I didn't. I just picked what we were going to get. You guys paid for that. And I am so grateful that you have found at least enough value in the channel of Trail Name Jasper to support it to that extent. Secondly, we're about 30% of the way to the new vlogging camera, and that's at the regular retail price of $600. I am told, being a photographer, I do have 1 or 2 contacts in the photography world, and I am told by a little birdie that the camera we're looking at for vlogging at the end of the month, or pre-end of month, November that would be, there's going to be some ridiculous or really good Black Friday deals on that particular camera, which means we might save another 20-30% right there. If that was the case, we have maybe 30 or 40% of the cost of the camera to do. If anybody out there who has not yet maybe would like to contribute to the Looney Tooney drive, all the Tyveks are gone, we've sold out of those, thank you. Please donate or send your support to trailnamejasper@gmail.com, and we're going to buy that new camera at the end of the month on the Black Friday deal. So that's trailnamejasper@gmail.com, the Looney or Tooney drive, or anything you can manage would be great. Thank you, and again, thank you so much, because I cannot believe that we could buy the video editing software so quickly. And have a significant amount of money going ahead towards the camera already. I couldn't believe that we've been able to do that. Thank you. Okay, break time's over. My little spiel is over. Again, truly grateful for all that. I really am. We're gonna get going down this road. This little section of trail right here is going to take us from the Wimblewood General Store down to the beach, to the shoreline of Georgian Bay. It has got really windy this last, let's say, hour. As soon as the sun started coming out, the winds picked up. Wow. So I think the lake will be a little bit angry this morning, or this afternoon now. But anyhow, let's go take a look, because this part here is probably one of my most favorite parts along this particular hike. There's a section where we get to hike along the shoreline, because the lake is beautiful. I don't know if you can hear it right now, but the waves definitely kind of rushing into the shoreline. It's beautiful. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, almost at the actual beach. Sun shining, wind blowing. I hope it's not affecting the audio too much. I am using a windshield on this camera today for audio. Well, I use it all the time, but sometimes the wind is just too strong. Okay, welcome to beautiful Georgian Bay. Fall colors way in the distance around the shoreline. Not sure what you can see on the GoPro. Oh, and there, of course, well, there's me hiking down the beach. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh yeah. It's quite mild today too for October the 31st. I think it's about 12 degrees Celsius. I think that's quite mild for this time of year. So you know what? It's just a perfect day to be out here. Okay, let's just keep laying down these miles. We're doing just fine today. At this section of the trail, we come back up off the beach onto this tiny little old gravel lane. It runs between some cottages and the lake. Absolutely beautiful little spot to have a home, a year-round home. That would be beautiful. Cottage would be nice for the summer, but a year-round home. And some of these are, that's for sure. And we just go right through the middle of this little area of cottages here. The fall colors, the leaves on the ground. It is truly a magical kind of time of year, that's for sure. Right at this stop sign, there's a building on the right, which is today a home. But it used to be, back in the day, when I first came to Ontario, which was back in 1977, that used to be a bakery and a coffee shop. And when we used to come up here, walking up here, hiking up here, you'd stop in there and get a coffee, and maybe a bun and take a break, a donut or a muffin or cookie. Yeah, it was called, I believe it was called Irene's, and they call the street today Irene. I don't know if there's a big connection there, but anyhow, a lot of history. Well, some history. History for me personally, a little nostalgic. I sat in there many times and had a cup of coffee, a latte, which I really like. Yeah, beautiful cottages, beautiful homes, beautiful lots of land, right by the bay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just keep going. We are doing just fine. We get closer and closer to our turnaround point of Balm Beach. Now Balm Beach, and I will show you it when we get there, and you've been there before with me. It's a beautiful, quaint little kind of community. It has an arcade, which has a snack bar, an ice cream. It has a general store. Binghamton, I believe the family name is, general store, which is open all year. It has two bars slash restaurants. One is the Surf. It's been there for years, although it changed hands a couple of years ago. And then another one that was empty for years that just opened a couple of years ago. Most of everything closes for the off season, except the Binghamton's general store. That is one very busy enterprise. In the off season, they're extremely busy and they do very well. You can only imagine then in the season when there's thousands of people there, it's just a cash cow for that particular family. But you know what? They serve a need and they're in the right place at the right time, and we're gonna go in there today. Grab a little something maybe. So yeah, everything else will pretty much be closed. The upstairs kind of bar, barbecue, restaurant and bar, it may be open. I was here a couple of days ago on my bike doing a 50k ride after work one evening, and it was open that evening. I don't know, I doubt if they'll open all winter, but it would be kind of nice if they did. But it would also be the first year they did, so it will probably close at some point. We'll see. Beautiful homes through here. Oh yeah. Take a look, see. And again, I think that one, the grey one right behind me, I think that's just a cottage. I don't see people there in the winter months because I do come up here. I do this hike in the winter months. I also ride my bike up here in the winter months if there's, you know, if the roads are clear. Okay, we are getting closer and closer and closer because I'm ready for my coffee now. The Surf Restaurant, closed for the season, established in 1946. The water, the beach, bar and smokehouse. They have a sign up there that says they're open, although the gate is closed. So I'm guessing they're not open. I'm guessing they just left the sign up that says open. But you can see they've actually now put plastic and so on or over the openings. Maybe they're going to be open for the winter. I don't know. But anyhow, I actually hope they do stay open for the winter. Bingham's, so it's called Bingham's, not Binghamton's, but Bingham's General Store. We are going to pop in there, maybe get potato chips, I don't know. And then the arcade, and of course it's closed now for the season. It won't open again until May. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful little community. After our break time in Palm Beach, wow, must be a blue moon, because I had a bag of potato chips, which I usually don't have, very rarely. But I think I wanted the salt. I just felt for something really salty. It's quite warm out. I bet it's 15 degrees right now. Yeah. So luckily in my pack I had my shorts. I got my shorts on now. We're going back a slightly different way to start off with anyhow, than the way we came. Again, deep within kind of cottage country, within the cottage courts and kind of so on, and the nice homes, and yeah, some of the homes are homes of the rich and famous, I guess, because some of them must be worth a fortune, and then other ones just nice small quaint cottages that have been there for over the last 50 years. We're doing just fine. Got a little bit of steam after we had our break time, which is good. Oh, yeah, we picked up the pace a little bit, at least for now anyhow. Okay. Oh. In the summertime, this area can be really quite busy. A lot of tourists, and it's so quaint and kind of old world. It's almost like there's no Walmarts, there's no big names here. It's all just mom and pa kind of places, and it's just not big enough for the big names. So it leaves it with a kind of quaintness that's really refreshing, to be honest with you. I really like that. Oh man, upcoming trails. Well, it's going to be November tomorrow. Time is moving right along. If we were actually to do the Florida trail, we'd be starting that trail in 2 months. Yeah, beginning of January. Although that's probably the last one on my list, but we'll see. Really thinking of the Arizona, which would be a beginning of March start. Also, as you know, we're still thinking about the Appalachian, which would be a beginning of March start. Oh, the possible Colorado Trail through hike. Ooh. Yo-yo, beg your pardon. So that would be a yo-yo. That would be a July, the beginning of July, the first-ish start. So we'll see. There is also a possibility, a lot depends on costs and so on, but there's a possibility of what I'd like to have a go at is maybe the Arizona trails in March. That's 1,300 kilometers. So that would be March and April. So I'd be back home in May, and then through June, and then July, head back to Colorado and through hike the Colorado again, which would mean next year it would be the Arizona and the Colorado. I really enjoyed the Colorado, I'm sure you can tell. That's a possibility. I just don't know yet. But we constantly think about it, we're constantly planning, constantly reviewing. I think the Arizona is going to be one heck of a challenging trail for both water and resupplying. And it's a trail, I think, less traveled, more so than the Florida trail for sure. I think the Florida trail seems to be the least one traveled, and of course the Appalachian probably the busiest one traveled by far. Although when I did the Colorado, I was surprised how many people were on that. But they said in the whole history of the Colorado Trail, last year was a banner year because a lot of people couldn't do anything the years before because of COVID or the year before. So last year they got out. Okay, a little bit of an update there on what's coming up. And of course, between now and then, we're going to be working all the time on day hikes, 2-day hikes. This is Sunday, and I had planned on going away this weekend for a 2-day, 1-night wild camp hike in the Blue Mountains section of the Bruce Trail. But things cropped up. My bike that I love dearly, it needed to get into the shop, gear work and so on, so I had to do that. I had to put a new set of kitchen sink taps on. So that was an upgraded kind of tap. The ones we had were leaking a little, so we changed those. Plus, I got the snow tires, because here in Ontario, you know, snow's coming soon. Got the snow tires on my girlfriend's car. Still got mine to do. So I did all that yesterday. So today, it's a day hike. But who knows? Next weekend, let's see what the weatherman says. But next weekend, I would do a 2-day hike with a night wild camp in the Blue Mountain section of the Bruce. Sure I would. So we'll see if that works out. Okay, we keep moving on, laying down miles, everybody, laying down miles. There's an awful lot of character in that sky. Oh yeah. The wind, the waves on the lake, the building anger, those darkening gray clouds. We are almost back at the car where we parked this morning. So I'm going to say thank you for joining me today. Please like, share, comment, do subscribe. Hey, Jasper here. We're going to see you next time. Take a little look at this.